Well, hey there, crew, and a big welcome to you all. Thank you so much for listening in. This is Oz Music Podcast episode 4, and once again, I'm your host for the show, Damien V. So make yourself comfy and buckle up for the ride as I'm behind the wheel and ready to take you all on another awesome journey through the best of the Australian independent music scene. Well, it has been a huge week in Aussie music with the annual running of the Big Sound Festival in Brisbane. Just to let any of you listeners know what Big Sound is, if you don't already, basically it's 4 nights every September that a bunch of bands and artists, industry professionals, of course, music lovers from across the world, head down to the Valley in Brisbane to showcase the best and freshest of the Aussie music scene. I have a few friends who've performed there last week, so hopefully once the storm settles, we might be able to sneak 1 or 2 of them into the studio for a chat and tell us all about how it all went. But in the meantime, on this week's show, we have our own squad of extremely talented Aussie artists, and included on tonight's show is the Coopers, Filth Dimension, Beast Machine, the Chris Harper Experience, Bigfoot Mafia, and loads more great artists and news that you do not want to miss out on. So kicking us off tonight is a fun-loving bunch out of southeast Queensland, and I will actually be playing a couple of tracks of theirs on the show, and I will tell you a little bit more about them after we spin up their song. This is Aspy Jones with Madhouse.
Welcome to my house. I can feel your nervous tension, don't worry. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Welcome to my house. We buy milk, got no fridge, and we live in a false sense of reside. We got madness on the table. Stable. We like to shout at the walls for comfort and talk to whomever talks back. Welcome to my house, don't worry, we're all crazy here. Crazy here. Welcome to my house, don't worry, we're all crazy here. Crazy here. If you have a shred of normality, please place it on the counter and leave quietly. 'Cause we're in a position to ask you an inquisition, 'cause we don't think that you've been just started yet. I like to sunbathe on a cloudy day, drive my convertible straight through the rain, start relationships before past wounds have healed, play hopscotch on abandoned minefields. We don't push the ladder, it don't get much better. It's crazy everything we say and do. Welcome to my house, don't worry, we're all crazy here. Crazy here. Welcome to my house, don't worry, we're all crazy here. Crazy here. If you have a shred of normality, please place it on the counter and leave quietly. 'Cause we're in a position to ask you an inquisition, 'cause we don't think that you've been just at us yet. And if you have a shred of normality, please place it on the counter and leave quietly. 'Cause we're in a position to ask you an inquisition, 'cause we don't think that you've been just at us yet. Oh, no, no, no.
And hailing from southeast Queensland, that was Aspy Jones with Madhouse. What a groovy song. Well, they are a young band on the rise and they've only been playing together for less than a year, but they're already smashing the crowds at festivals like the Gympie Muster, the Rocky River Festival and the Fraser Coast Seafood Festival, and they are soon to be showcased at the Sunshine Coast Annual Music Conference Turn Up. And if you did tune into episode 2, you will remember my chat with Tim from Dogwood Crossing, where he actually mentioned that they had scored a 4-track EP recording session with Rob Mackay from Pacific International Music. That was from the Harvey Bay Unplugged Artist Competition earlier this year. Well, their first release, Hatches, was really well received and went straight to number 1 on the Triple J Unearthed overall charts. And Madhouse, which is a single we just played, was their second release and also hit the top of the Triple J Unearthed charts. It was followed up with an awesome video for the song, which you have to go and check out on YouTube. It is really cool. But as I mentioned, we are going to spin up another song from Aspy a little later, so I'll tell you a little bit more then. Okay, moving on to our next artist in tonight's lineup. They've been blazing the live circuit, hailing from Perth. This is Demon Days with Gravel.
Swallow water, it trickles like gravel, it tickles. Whoa, sink down deeper, move over. Right now, got me questioning self, all because of my health. Oh no, one more breath in. I've got tightness in my thyroid and my shoulders. I ain't lying, boy, just need the time to rest upon my holders. For the pain to die, die. Spoonful, I'll gravel, makes me whistle when I sing high. Takes my that way. Closing down, I'm not open for business, so don't criticize this poor soul. You don't get it. Oh, who am I if I can't try to get better, not settle for lesser sleep? No more talking. I've got tightness in my thyroid and my shoulders. I get lying, boy, just need the time to rest upon my holders. For the pain and die, die, die. Spoonful of gravel makes me whistle when I sing high. Takes my that way. Yeah.
And that was the smooth vocals of Bella Nichols and Demon Days with their playful new single, Gravel. And I can certainly relate to that song. Can't you hear a little bit of gravel in my voice? Well, look, I actually fell in love with that track instantly, and it really has everything I subconsciously look for in a song. All those well-placed timing and tempo changes, the lyrics, the arrangement, musicianship, the production. It really ticks all the boxes for me, but full disclosure, I am a huge progressive music fanboy, so of course I'm going to be sucked in and fall in love with such an awesome song like that. Well, they have played at some great shows in the past, including Falls Festival, Grooving the Moo, Jungle Love, Big Sound and the Fairbridge Festival. And once again, Demon Days are hitting the road for 12 tour dates across October and November in support of their upcoming EP titled Taking It Slow This Time. And they do have a string of shows forming their biggest tour to date, including festival stops in Adelaide and Brisbane, alongside 4 co-headline shows with Disco Soul Collective, First Beige. And they will be wrapping up the tour with a show at their favourite Perth venue, Mojo's, where they will be supporting Melbourne Hip Hop Jazz Enigma's 3070 for their album launch. And look, it's always good to see helpful relationships and collaborations between artists. That's what it's all about. Well, teaming up with First Beige is something Demon Days have had in the pipeline for some time, with the two bands actually becoming buddies back when they all played the Jungle Love Festival back in 2018. And as I mentioned, the track we just listened to, Gravel, is from their upcoming 6-track EP, and that is due for release on October the 2nd this year. So make sure you check out their Insta and their Facebook to keep an eye on those tour and release dates. You do not want to miss out. Okay, moving on with the show. Next up tonight is a very talented solo artist. This is the Chris Harper Experience with Wild.
Just need to know you feel the same way. Hey, I wanna be there to your 102. tonight. Whoa, your love is driving me wild. Just need you now, just need you now, just need you to know you're driving me wild. I'm going wild, I'm going wild, I'm going wild, I'm going wild.
That was the amazing Chris Harper experience with Wild. So, Chris actually started out performing around 8 years ago. He was the bass guitarist in the rock band The LeBarons. And after gaining significant success, Chris decided to branch out with his musical expertise, and he moved on to guitar and vocals in order to enable him to experiment with different styles and genres. So, as a solo performer, he then became the artist that we know today, the Chris Harper Experience. And he has definitely managed to create a smooth blend of styles with this release, sitting somewhere between indie folk and rock music. Well, the Chris Harper Experience has been gaining momentum over the past year with frequent gigs around Oz, over in the UK and LA, with a notable mention in the Australian Songwriters Society magazine for his single, The Bad Things. I really dig this track we just played, and to me it's a huge stadium sound and a mixed landing between U2 and Coldplay. Well, I'm truly looking forward to hearing what is coming up in the future for Chris, and I hope all the best. Okay, well, next up on tonight's playlist is an artist currently filling festival stages across Europe. This is the one and only Mr. Ben Catley. Wow, what a song. He is one talented slinger, and that was West Australia's favourite son, Mr. Ben Catley, with Heavy Light, a Happy Cry version. Well, during the week, I was fortunate enough to have a solid listen to his EP in full, and it is outright brilliant. He really managed to capture the live feel throughout the studio songs, which isn't an easy task by any stretch. And this year, he has been appearing on some huge international lineups, performing all across Australia, New Zealand, UK and Europe, and with his huge vocals, blistering guitar style and his totally infectious stage energy, he has been captivating large crowds around the world like few other solo acts can. He's been playing on festival lineups among the likes of King Giz, Gorillaz, Ben Harper, Xavier Rudd, and I can only imagine the last 12 months have been nothing short of relentless for Ben. And look, he's really been working tirelessly between tours to put out the multiple releases he's dropped throughout the year. And he's even promised us more new music on its way. Seriously, go and watch a few of his live performances from his current tour on YouTube or his Facebook page. This guy will absolutely blow your mind. He's currently still on tour for the UK festivals, but will make it back for the WA Guitar Festival in Margaret River on October the 12th. So if you are listening in WA, do not let yourself down and miss that one. You will regret it. Okay, well, the next band on tonight's show have graciously handed us their latest single to spin up. I've been looking forward to this release for a while, so bringing the tropical thunder to your ears, out of far north Queensland, this is Bigfoot Mafia. leading the way in keeping Aussie rock alive and in your face. That was Bigfoot Mafia with their latest studio release, Let It Burn. And that track is so fresh, it literally just fell from the trees. I believe it was only finally released a few days ago. Well, the guys have quietly gone about developing their brand of abrasive rock since 2016, gaining support gigs with touring bands Clowns, King Parrot, Helions, Like Thieves and Thirsty Merc in the process. They also represented Cairns at the Early Beach Music Festival back in 2017. That was after winning their local heat of the Battle of the Bands competition, and that featured the cream of the North Queensland talent. And with their debut album Home Sweet Nowhere released last year, the Bigfoot boys are wasting no more time in putting their musical growth back into the studio. And with this year seeing the release of that highly anticipated follow-up single we just played, as well as soon embarking on the band's second tour across Queensland, it's guaranteed to be a really exciting time ahead for Rob and the lads. Well, the guys will be heading to Mackay, Townsville, Hervey Bay, Brisbane and Ipswich on their East Coast tour, so make sure you show them some Sasquatch love and head over to their socials, say hi. And if you can, try to catch them on the live stage, as that's where the lads really in their element and they're certain to give you a wild show. Okay, next up tonight is a Brisbane-based trio. This is Yeti Ghetto with their latest single, New Love.
Shuffling through a deck of days, the Queen of Hearts, the King of Spades, overthinking every hand you play, in this house of cards we've made. But did you think I would forget the 52 card pickup trick? Yeah, I know diamonds are forever, but a pair of two always sticks together. We can do anything, no need for pretending. We can be everything, you know I'll love you next time. See the Joker take the stage, read my lines straight from the page. Curtain call, it's happening now, for a crowd of thoughts that I entertain. But did you think that I forgot? Then it's just another pointless plot, a double act, a dramatic routine, your costume drama, my period piece. So we can do anything, no need for pretending. We can be everything, you know I'll love you next time. I need you more than I would just for you. I need you
Out of Brisbane, that was alternate rock three-piece Yeti Ghetto with their latest release titled New Love. I really love the dreamy feel the guys produce, and if you do too, you need to head over to their YouTube and check out some of their clips. They really have a great bunch of videos there to watch. Well, it all started for the crew as a series of late-night laptop recording sessions, which I'm sure quite a few of us know all about. Well, they were jammed into an overcrowded share house in northwest London, and the result of the work just shows how chaotic circumstances and makeshift equipment can shape a song which is already truly timeless. Well, the track we just featured, New Love, is the latest single release for Yeti Ghetto, and it is a sneak peek into their debut full-length album entitled Jinx, which is scheduled to be released early October. But in the meantime, if you want more Yeti music, New Love is now available to purchase or stream on Spotify and Apple Music. Well, I did promise you all another track from Aspy Jones tonight, so without holding out any longer, this is Aspy Jones with Not Good Enough.
I'm at the base of it now, I'm in the shadow, I don't know if I can face it. The clouds that shroud the top, right near the summit is the place they say you'll make it. And I don't think I can live with myself if I don't try. Instead of breaking down, I'd rather die. And all I can do is act it out. Wake up every morning with my head full of doubt. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. No, 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 no. I may never be good enough. No, 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 no. Stop, work it out. Let the rains of inspiration stop this idea drought and fill my head with lots of lyrical wonder. And between you and me, these having all been made and sober. And you say you can't believe it, that I haven't made it. The piano man's crowd felt the same. And in this game of life, I'm what you wanna do. There's only one person to blame. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. No, 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 no. I may never be good enough. No, 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 no. Just give me a minute. Close your eyes. Picture a place where you feel good inside. If I did the same as you, I'd be in the middle of the ocean. Not because I like it, cause I like the smooth motion of the waves on my boat. Back and forth as I float with no knowledge of date or time. So take note, when I'm out here, society can't hurt me. But there's no pressure on my head to not be lonely. Instead of me looking at pretty girls and thinking what could have been, would all been so bad if I just let them in. Cause like they say, one is the loneliest number. So I need one more to make my world stronger. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. I may never be good enough. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. I may never be good enough. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh.
Aspy Jones with Not Good Enough. Wow, what a great song and a great message. Well, from what I understand, that was his last release and is actually about his continual self-doubt as he tried to pursue his dreams. He'd always been told he wasn't writing music that was current, he wasn't mainstream, but he did realise there were people out there who liked it, so it was time to find a band. And he was right, we absolutely love it, and I'm sure the listeners do as well. They are playing a bunch of shows around the place, so hit up their social pages for all the upcoming show dates. And as Molly would say, do yourself a favour and go check out all those video clips I mentioned earlier. Okay, prepare to be rocked. Hailing from New South Wales, this is Beast Machine with Time Slowed Down.
My heart stopped beating. I'm broken, boned again, staring at the ceiling. If I could pull back time's hands, if I could hit rewind, then I'd be straight there.
South Wales, that was hard rock band Beast Machine with their latest single, Time Slowed Down, and that track comes from their highly anticipated forthcoming debut album. Well, being a massive prog metal enthusiast, I did find myself playing this track over and over, and I'm really looking forward to getting my ears into the new album when it drops. Well, the guys actually hail from the laid-back central northern New South Wales, but as you just heard, there is nothing laid back about them in terms of their hard-hitting music. So back in 2017, their original idea was just to make music that they enjoyed, do a couple of shows around the Byron Bay scene, and basically create a vehicle for the guys to let out their frustrations through their music. And the response to their music was so great that they started getting constant requests to step outside their local area, which eventually landed the crew an invitation to tour in the US at the end of 2017. And that is exactly what they did. And they travelled over to the States and did a run of packed shows around California and Nevada. Fast forward 18 months and they've added a third member and now locked and loaded to head back over to the States for another run of shows this October. Unfortunately, most of the Aussie tour shows are done, but if you're one of our overseas Spotify, maybe iTunes listeners, I will quickly give you a few of the US tour dates. We have the 10th of October, Redwood Bar and Grill in LA, 13th of October, Old Town Pub, Pasadena, the 14th of October, Rainbow Bar and Grill, West Hollywood, 17th of October, the Whiskey A Go-Go in West Hollywood, and finally the 18th of October, Double Down Saloon in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you need any more info on the current tour or latest releases, etc., just head over and follow them on their Facebook page to keep yourself up to date. Okay, now it is time to get dirty, and I mean filthy dirty. Out of Melbourne, this is Filth Dimension. And out of Melbourne, that was the three-piece alternative punks, Filth Dimension with Black and Blue. Very cool track, and it takes me back to those good old L7 days of punk grunge and dirty riffs. Well, 2019 is the year for Filth Dimension, and they have arrived on the scene with a brutal punch and have plenty to say. They formed back in 2018, and the band have done a consistent run of successful gigs and festivals across the country throughout the year, and they've been playing alongside some inspiring heavy hitters, and as the band were finding their feet, they managed to write the 3-song EP Heavy Peace, and that was released on the 24th of January this year. Their impressive debut EP is a fusion of punk, grunge, heavy rock with emotive lyrics and driving riffs that really complement the killer melodies. And singer Chris Kilride is no stranger to this approach from her years as frontwoman for the anarcho-punk band Kill the Apprentices. And with her metaphorical way of writing in Filth Dimension, they delve even deeper on an array of social issues and the beauty and tragedy of human behaviour. So, with interstate and overseas tours locked in for 2019 and 20, this act is becoming an unstoppable force. And first stop, the band are heading overseas to Japan in October to spread some Aussie filth, and then they will head back to the booth in November for their next studio release. So don't forget to head over to their YouTube channel and check out their video releases and hit up their socials for latest news and upcoming gig dates. Okay, next up tonight is a collaboration of two artists out of Sydney. This is Tim Godwin and MC Scots with Munted Wizard.
Dimension. You ain't from this planet, feel polite to mention. Bumping the script, what you order attention. You wild on the 6, you best to rest on the 7. You tipped my tubs, and you ripped my shirt. Then you flipped your birds, so hence you gift your curse. Start like a starting mullet. You need to start with the rum running down your gullet. I'm about the good times, yep, I love it. But you see this right here, you can't touch it. Run to me with your gizzard. Blind, can't you see like a blizzard? I admire you though, you with the party till it fizzes. Like flying on high, use the Munted Wizard.
Hello. Out of Sydney, that was Tim Godwin with Munted Wizard. Well, that addictive little track really grew on me over the week, and it still has me scratching my head trying to find a similar band I can compare the song to. But I'm not sure. I sort of get maybe a Marilyn Manson vibe through the music, but when it's blended with the Aussie rap, it just takes it somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe you guys can come up with something. Hit up our Facebook page, leave a comment, and tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how it sounds nothing like Marilyn Manson. Anyway, Tim tracked the beat for the song live with no backing and just to a click, and so the phone ringing at the end of the song actually happened. It wasn't layered in later. And the analog synths, though, they were overdubbed before Tim reconnected with old friend MC Scott's. Then the verses were tracked in an Airbnb Tim rented to do a bunch of production work located in Sydney's inner west. So Scotty and Tim basically just bummed around, flipping through LPs at Vintage Record and drinking beer as he laid down the verses. So after the vocals, he added a few extra snippets of percussion, guitar and synth lead and ended up with the funky hip-hop number we just heard. The pair then approached their inspiration for the song, Munted Wizard, and invited them to be part of the music video, which was being shot in Newcastle mid-August. The script is pretty wild with lots of party vibe and fun themes, so go and check it out. Other than that, Scott's is a solo project in the pipeline, and Tim is about to set sail on some of those social norm gigs with the release of their new EP. The track we just played, Munted Wizard, dropped on September the 6th with the music video, and there is already talk of the pair future collaborating again, so be sure to keep an eye out for the next release. Well, folks, unfortunately we have almost drawn to the end of this week's show, and once again it's been an absolute cracker lineup of artists, and to be honest, the quality of Australian independent music coming through is just nothing short of amazing. It blows me away every single week. So a big shout out to all of you bands and artists sending your music through to us, allowing me to have such a great show to host. And it just goes to show how well Aussie music is alive and thriving, and it really is important to have as many platforms as possible available to artists to spread their music to new and wider audiences. Look, we can't forget our wonderful sponsor for the show, Artie's Music, for helping out behind the scenes. If you want an awesome deal on any studio gear or instruments, just give the boys at Artie's a holler at their retail stores. They are located in Brisbane and Townsville, or just hit up their 24/7 online store at artiesmusic.com.au. And most importantly, a massive thanks to you, the listener, for tuning in to the show and making it all the way to the end. Well, to complete the lineup for tonight's show, emerging from humble beginnings in small town Australia, the Coopers actually made their mark internationally early on in their career, firstly by earning critical praise for their energetic live shows, and then being discovered busking by a BBC producer in the UK who landed them their first big break when their single Ripples was picked up by the classic hit comedy series The In-Betweeners. Wow, how cool. Well, then with the ever-growing word of mouth, coupled with the major festival slots, including Leeds, Reading and The Great Escape, it saw them firmly establish themselves into the UK music scene. And their follow-up release, Paint It Blue and Throw It in the Sea, follows another simple recipe: a healthy dose of quirky pop, a twist of indie, a slice of folk, and enough sunshine to bring the summer into full swing. Sounds like a healthy diet to me. Well, their latest EP marks a new slate in their songwriting career. It was entirely crowdfunded and has a warm intimacy that I just know you will find compelling and refreshing. I can say that after seeing for myself in person, I cannot tell you enough about how good their live performances truly are. So you need to track down where and when they are playing near you. So jump over to their Insta or Facebook page to follow this captivating duo. So a perfect act to round us off for tonight. This is the Coopers with Dreamers.
I lay in bed with my eyes out the window. My mind's made up, I'll take my body where my heart's already gone. My heart's already gone. My heart's already gone. I'll fold a compass and a dream into a napkin. Put a stick upon my shoulder and I'm never coming home. I'm never coming home. I'm never coming home. Take me to a place